What if a superhero's greatest weapon wasn't some magic hammer or an indestructible shield, but a really dense philosophical argument? Well, today we are breaking down one of the most brilliant, just completely out there character concepts I have ever seen, Der Wille, a hero who literally weaponizes German idealism.
Okay, so this one quote, it basically sets the stage for everything we're about to explore. Forget physics, forget chemistry, all of that. In the world of Athalgard, everything you see is built from pure thought. Belief isn't just important, it's the strongest force in existence.
All right, here's our roadmap for this little philosophical journey. We're going to meet our hero, we'll dissect his frankly mind-bending powers, explore the wild reality he protects, uncover a really tragic origin story, and then finally, we'll try to figure out how do you even fight an enemy that's made of pure despair.
So let's kick things off by meeting the man at the center of this whole reality of ideas. And I can pretty much guarantee you have never seen a character archetype quite like this one, the sorcerer philosopher.
So this is Baron Friedrich von Nix, but you can call him Der Wille, which just means the will. And get this, his last name, von Nix, literally translates to of nothing. Yeah, that's your first clue that we are dealing with a pretty complicated hero. He was born into this aristocratic family that was obsessed with philosophy, and he tried to use alchemy and logic to basically delete his own mortality, to become a being of pure will. And it worked. But now his mission is this constant, endless struggle to fight the literal concept of nothingness, all from his base of operations, which is the unconscious itself.
Now we get to the really juicy stuff, the core of this character. See, his powers aren't just named after philosophical ideas. Oh no. They are the direct, literal application of those theories right there on the battlefield.
So first up, we've got Arthur Schopenhauer's will to live. Now, this is the idea that basically everything in the entire universe, from a plant straining towards the sun to a person just fighting to survive, is driven by this relentless, primal, unconscious force.
And this is how Der Wille weaponizes that exact concept. He doesn't just, change objects around. He uses his own blood to impose his superior will to live onto reality itself. So a bullet flying at him isn't just stopped. Its very existence as a threat is refuted. It's overwritten by his own stronger will.
Next up, Hegel's dialectic. You've probably heard of this one, it's a classic. It's a logical structure. You start with an idea, the thesis. Then it gets challenged by its opposite, the antithesis. And the conflict between those two creates a new, more advanced idea, the synthesis.
So of course Der Wille carries this exact concept as a weapon. His staff, called the schizostaff, has a thesis end that creates things and an antithesis end that destroys things. And when he slams them both together, the result is a synthesis, a shockwave that completely rewrites the physical laws of the battlefield around him.
But his powers go way beyond just physical stuff. He can summon entities, and his most powerful, his most terrifying summon is the Pale Cynic. It's this ghostly being that doesn't even attack you. Instead, it just projects this aura of pure, crushing pessimism, telepathically convincing you that fighting, that doing anything, is completely and utterly pointless.
So to really wrap your head around a power like that, you have to understand the world he's from. This isn't a planet. It's a dimension called the realm of Geist, which literally means the realm of spirit or mind. And the rules there are completely different.
You see, in Athalgard, reality is basically a group project. The landscape literally shifts based on the collective zeitgeist. That's a German word for the spirit of the times, the dominant mood of everyone living there. A corporate skyscraper only stands as long as people believe in that company. If that belief fades, the building just dissolves into mist. Gravity only works because everyone agrees that it should. It's wild.
So even the geography itself is all one big allegory. A lot of the world is bordered by the sea of fog, and that fog represents the literal boundary of what humanity can even comprehend. And you'll see these old ruins of abbeys and things, but they weren't destroyed. No, they were built that way, right from the start, as monuments to the idea that everything humans build will eventually just decay.
So remember that terrifying summon, the Pale Cynic? Well, it wasn't born, it was made. And its origin lies in this secret government program that was trying to create a very, very different kind of weapon.
See, there was this thing called Project Wille, and their goal was, super ambitious, to create a beacon of hope, a philosopher king. They took this disillusioned professor, Dr. Diogenes, and they put him into a dream simulation of a perfect world, trying to create pure optimism. But one of the handlers, Director M, was a total cynic. He saw all of this as naive. So he hacked the simulation and systematically introduced chaos, senseless tragedy, just doubt, until the professor's optimism completely shattered. And when they finally woke him up, he wasn't a hero. He was a ghost, powered by absolute, soul-crushing despair. And if you want to know the truly chilling part, this quote from Director Mem explains everything. He wasn't just some rogue agent. He was a philosophical saboteur. He truly believed that all striving was pointless and that existence itself was flawed. So he created a weapon to prove it to the world.
And if you're a comics fan, this whole setup is basically a dark mirror of other super soldier origins, like Miracle Man's Project Zarathustra, but it's got this crucial twist. Miracle Man's trigger word, Kimota, causes an explosion of atomic power. But for Project Wille, their trigger word, Wille, causes an implosion, the complete and total collapse of all motivation and purpose.
So what does this implosion of will actually look like on the battlefield? Well, the Pale Cynic isn't a soldier. It's a weapon of mass demoralization.
When you put it side by side with a hero like Miracle Man, the difference is just night and day. Miracle Man represents active nihilism, using immense power to force a new order onto a world you think is meaningless. The Pale Cynic, though, that's passive nihilism, proving that any order, any effort is futile to begin with. One is a weapon that breaks cities, the other is a weapon that breaks the will to even build them.
And here it is, the main attack. They call it the Schopenhauer effect. The Cynic radiates this psychic field that forces you to perceive reality the way Schopenhauer did, as this endless pendulum swinging back and forth between the pain of struggle and the boredom of peace. And once you truly believe that, why would you ever fight again?
So how in the world do you fight an enemy powered by such profound, serious pessimism? Well, you fight it with something completely and utterly ridiculous. The Cynic's logic is so rigid, it's either pain or boredom, that it can be scrambled by pure absurdism. An act of surreal humor, the proverbial lemon, can actually disrupt its power because it doesn't fit into either category. It's just nonsense.
Which really leaves us with this final question to think about. In a reality that's governed by belief, true power might not be the ability to create or destroy, but the ability to convince. Thanks so much for joining me for this one.